Hey my beautiful bitches, it's me, Fiona St. James, and welcome to another episode of Fiona's Coffee Talks. And as always, I'd like to start off every day with a fresh, hot, black cup of coffee. Hold the cream! I'd love to, of course, in my favorite mug, logo of my channel. Coffee, black, no Kahlua, who knew? Anyway, happy Valentine's Day! Yay! Hence all of my decor. So, it is, technically it's not Valentine's Day yet, but it is Tuesday, February 9th, I believe is the date. You're watching this obviously on the 12th, and this is my Valentine's edition. So, I thought to myself, I should tell them my all-time favorite Valentine's story. So, picture it. Valentine's Day, 1994. I'm going back a minute, but you know, girl, I've been around. So, anywho, I'll never ever forget. I had but about 6 months before that, August 29th, 1993, I started working at Bloomingdale's in the cosmetic and fragrance division. And pretty much every day from August 29th straight through February 14th, which is about 6 months, I worked every single day, store hours, and the only 2 days that I had off were the 2 days that the store was closed, which was Thanksgiving Day and Christmas Day. So, at that point I had started doing drag back in like a few years before that, 1987. So this was, and I was like doing that a lot more than I do these days. And so I'll never forget that 14th of February. I worked all day 10 to 8:30, and I literally had enough time to go running home, shit, shower, shave, get ready, and I had to be on stage for a 10 p.m. show at Splash Bar. You guys remember Splash on 17th and 6th? No longer in existence, but when it was amazing. So I somehow left work at 8:30, ran home, literally was completely done up and at the bar, at Splash Bar by 9:30ish. Did that show at 10 o'clock. I was done probably about 11:15 or so, and then I had to go running to the Candle Bar, another bar on the Upper West Side, 75th in Amsterdam. And I used to live right around the corner from Candle Bar. So, and I was there from 91 to 96. But anyway, I worked all day, went to Splash Bar, did the show there, then I had to go running uptown, and then I was doing a midnight show at the Candle Bar. So I did that show, and I was needless to say exhausted, because I had been, working pretty much for 6 months without a day off, and other than those two. So apart from everything else, I was a bit exhausted. Now, it's funny how, when you're that young, because this would have been 94, early 94, so I was only 28, surely not the 55 going on 56 that I am now. Excuse me. So, back then you could do that. At least I could. I could work all day, do shows at night, be all busted up, drink to God knows why, get no sleep, and then go to work the next day. So I did the show at Candle Bar, and by now it's 2 in the morning. Now the good news is I didn't have work the next day. So I was okay. So I was girl, I'm going to really let my hair down. So here I am in complete drag. Now, for those of you who remember the Candle Bar, I don't even think that that's in existence anymore either. But the Candle Bar, to get to the bathroom, which was downstairs, they had these stairs that were so steep and so not safe at all. Even if you weren't fucked up, they just were not very conducive to walking, frankly. they weren't very wide, they were steep, they were kind of crooked and fucked up. And so you could probably tell where I'm going with this story. So I was wearing these 7-inch platforms, similar to these, except even a higher stiletto. They were 7 inches, and the front platform was probably 3 inches. So you were technically on a 4-inch instep. So here I am all fucked up, and I have my drink, and I was I got to use the bathroom. So I, have the drink in one hand, holding onto the handrail. I go walking down the stairs, and girl, that's all she wrote. All I know is that 1 second I was walking, a second later I hit the floor, and I hit with like my leg, like my knee bent like that. So then basically my ankle like hit the step, and honey, I slid all the way down to the bottom of the stairs, which was probably about, I don't know how many steps, 20 steps, and it was like bang, 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 bang. All of that took about a few seconds. And the funny part is, the only reason I stopped flying down was because I hit the bottom of the stairs. I had nowhere else to go, bitch. At that point, where else can I go? I practically ended up in the toilet because it was a small bathroom that was right there. I'm lucky I didn't go flying forward. The irony of all of this is the entire time I still had my drink in my hand and didn't spill a drop. No, I did not, honey, because let's keep it real. I was like, at that point, when I hit the bottom of the stairs, I was like, oh, fuck. And I was like, may as well drink this. And I remember I just like downed it. And then somehow I like got up and still kept my heels on. And Pete managed to walk up the stairs, but back up the stairs. And I'm thinking to myself, I think I just fucked my shit up. And I was like, you know what? I think I need to go home. So I remember a friend of mine was there, and I told him what happened. He was like, girl, you gotta get home. And he like walked me home. And like I said, I was like around the corner. He came up with me to my apartment. He was like, oh, you should take a bath and soak it. So I did that, and it didn't initially swell up. I mean, maybe a little bit, but I think truthfully, I was so fucked up because I had been drinking, smoking weed, doing God knows what. So I think I wasn't really feeling it. And I think I was just so exhausted from the schedule that I had just had that, bitch, I mean, I could have fallen on a knife and probably not even realized what was going on. So my friend leaves. I pass out. Now, you got to understand, I was living in this small studio. So, everything was just kind of thrown everywhere. And I get home, and I took the bath. And then I remember I went to sleep. And 2 hours later, I wake up in excruciating pain. I woke up and my ankle at that point was this big. And I was like, fuck. I just remember waking up and I screamed because it's hurting me that much. And I didn't know what to do. So at that point, I ended up calling 911. And I was like, I think I broke my ankle. So, the paramedics came in. I remember the two that came were really fucking hot. And I was like, oh. And, and here I am. My apartment looked like a drag queen hurricane had hit it because there was shit thrown everywhere. Makeup, my bra, my panties, my dress, my wig, my heels. And I still had makeup on. I mean, I looked like a used, misused, abused, reused tranny hooker that had just been through the ringer and refused to take my makeup off. And I remember I was wearing a cut-off t-shirt and whatever under. I was practically naked, let's say. So and at that point, when they came in, I'm hobbling to the door and I'm like, oh fuck, my apartment's a wreck. I'm a wreck. And so they're looking around and they're like, this crazy bitch. So they end up taking me to the hospital. I didn't break my ankle, thank God. I mean, it was a really, really bad sprain. And I remember I ended up using crutches for weeks. And, it wasn't the most fun. But the good that came of it, I always try to look for that silver lining in every cloud, was the fact that then I was forced to not work. And it was already retail, because I was freelancing at that point. We had already done Thanksgiving, Christmas, Valentine. So there was a bit of a lull anyway. So the fact that I couldn't work was okay because, there wasn't much happening in the next month or two anyway. But I remember I was home and it was a week later and I was going stir crazy. Especially because Candle Bar was around the corner. That was my hangout. So I was fuck that. So not even a week later, I take my crutches and I'm I'm going to Candle Bar. I want to drink and, carry on and all that shit. And so here's where the silver lining comes in. Because there I am, minding my own business, sitting at the bar, with my ankle all bandaged up and shit. And I got my crutches. And in walks this cute little guy. I say little because he's short like me. Greg. Hey, Wolfie. That was actually my friend Greg, who's one of my best friends. That's the first night we met. And he was in school. He was in New York, like getting his master's, and whatchamacallit, and he sees my ankle all bandaged up, and he was like, oh my God, what happened to you? And I was like, oh, I fucked my shit up. I fell down a flight of stairs. I laugh every time I think of that, because I'm like, how do you fall down a flight of stairs? But anyway, I said, yeah, I fell down a flight of stairs, and my doctor said that I should keep my ankle elevated. You think you could help me out? So that's my silver lining, honey, because I always say, when life throws you lemons, add some vodka. So that was the vodka there where, like, suddenly I'm sitting there all fucked up, but at least, that's a good come on line. So if you ever are sitting there with a busted up ankle, you're all allowed to use that line. So, and so that was my Valentine story. I wish that I had these wonderful Valentine stories where, like, maybe I was like dating someone. I mean, I'm sure I have a few of those too. I mean, but, by and large, I've always, for the most part, been a single kind of girl. So, I don't have these like amazing romantic, oh, we went to dinner and blah, I'm sure I do, but honey, they're not as much fun as this story I just told. So that's the truth. Anywho, so that's my Valentine's for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed telling it. So I hope you guys have a wonderful Valentine's, which is in a couple of days. If you do the indoor dining, be careful, eat food, eat a lot of food, eat some chocolates. Oh yes, chocolates. That's the last thing I wanted to do. Was, I'm not a big chocolate person, and because I do the Shepherd's Code, we're only allowed to eat like dark chocolate. And I don't do peanut butter, but if you guys go to Trader Joe's, this little thing here is, instead of a peanut butter cup, it's a dark chocolate almond butter cup. Oh my God, this shit is so good. So I'm going to celebrate with you guys, and I'm going to eat one. I'm going to put the whole shit in my mouth, because that's just what I do. And then my other favorite thing from Trader Joe's is their dark chocolate covered almonds, but the one that has the sea salt and carbonado sugar. Oh my God. Look how good that is. Now, it has carbs, so I'm not supposed to eat a lot. So my sister Wengie, hey Wengie, she's like, Jimmy, when you eat these, only eat 3 of these. But what I do is I eat 2 of these. Yeah, the first one. And the second one, and then I allow myself 1 almond butter cup. And that's pretty much like, I'm really disciplined with this shit. So for all you tops out there that tell me I lack discipline, no I don't, bitches. And here's the proof. Try 2 of these, 1 of those, and then I'm happy. And that's my Valentine. So this Valentine's, I ain't doing shit, because bitch, it's a pandemic. I ain't dating anyone. I ain't hooking up with anyone. It's a mess. So I said this in my last video. Coronavirus, the cock blocker of the year. Anywho, I'm sorry, I gotta swallow this. No pun intended. So, thank you so much for being here with me. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you do. Hit the notifications. Give me a thumbs up if you like what I have to say. And I can't wait to see you all again. Stay safe and healthy. Love you. Bye. That shit was good.